So, this is going to be my variation crafting. This is technically a stream, but this is going to be uploaded to YouTube, no doubt. So, yeah, this is going to be cut into episodes based on what characters I know a good amount about, usually who I play a lot. I might be able to extend my infinite wisdom and my ideas out to other characters that I've played a bit, because I have used a lot of them, but I haven't spent a great amount of time with all the individual characters. Most of the time, the only ones that I frequent are Kotal, Liu Kang, Johnny, Joker. Who else? I play Jax a bit. I play Baraka, and I used to play Garrus a lot, not so much anymore. And I don't think there's really any other characters that I have spent a lot of time and I'm very comfortable with. So yeah, so those are the main characters I'm going to be going over. I might, again, extend my reach into some other characters that I think, I have a idea for a variation for Shang Tsung that might be good, or it might be dog shit, who knows. So yeah, I guess let's get right into it. Just a quick disclaimer, this is before any kind of knowledge of what is banned or what is buffed, nerfed. We have no idea what will happen with the ultimate update. We're not sure what moves will be good, what moves will be trash, what moves will become meh, what moves will be banned, or what moves could potentially take up more slots, take up less slots. And even then, also what moves could be ended up becoming, conflicting with each other. So you might have a move that works right now that you can pair with it, but when the update comes, they might make those two moves conflict because they work too well together or something like that. So yeah, that's just a bit of a disclaimer. So without further ado, so my first variation that I thought I have two main ones. One of them is going to be fairly obvious, but the other one is a bit less. So obviously, many people agree that Kotal Kahn's Ascension variation is probably his best one. Simply because you get meterless combos, 30% if you burn a bar, unless if you don't have the damage buff active. And he has access to probably the best command grab in the game, or at least top 3. It doesn't advance, but I mean it's mid, it's relatively quick, and it does 18% by itself, or 15% by itself, and then 18, and then I think it does around 20 at max level damage buff. And again, it gives you a fucking damage buff, so it just has so much stuff. But its main drawback is obviously that it switches sides. So normally, if you generally fight mid-screen, this won't be too much of an issue. But obviously, with this variation and with Kotal Kahn's advancing moves, he has a lot of corner carry, and I think it is unwise to not take advantage of that, because he has several moves that also give him even more absurd corner carry. I'm talking one combo, you're from mid-screen to the corner. So the first one I thought of, which most people would think, is you keep the grab, you keep the Kahn cut, because who doesn't like combos and who doesn't like damage? That's his highest damaging ender. And God Ray is literally just useless. It's useful in some cases for chipping people out, but in all honesty, the regular one is better, because not only does it summon it right on him, so you don't have to mess with the distances, so it instantly heals on him, so he can just sit there and heal, which is what he wants to do most of the time with it. Or if he wants to chip someone out, you burn the bar and the damn thing tracks them. That is literally impossible to survive. If you have only 2%, 4% health left, and he burns the bar on his God Ray, I mean, good fucking luck. Because trying to avoid that thing is very, very difficult. So obviously what most people will tend to do is they'll just throw the damage totem on. damage on top of damage on top of damage. And yeah, I mean that's a solid tactic. Most people will probably do this, you know, if he's hitting for about 30% for one bar, if you hit his forward 2-4 into Kahn cut into the finish with the command grab, it's about 30% bread and butter. I'm assuming probably with the damage totem it's somewhere around 40-45%, which is absurd for one bar, which gives him another damage buff on top of that. So yeah, that variation is going to be insane. But the one I think I'm actually going to probably prefer is Kotal Kahn's biggest weakness is when he's in the corner. He has so much great stagger and pressure with a combination of really good ranging mids and attacks. Or not mids, I'm sorry, but he has a slow but very good range. So off of his forward 3, forward 4, and forward 2. So he can play a bit further back than most people can in the corner, which most characters just cannot deal with his range, and they just can't outrange him. It's very difficult. So, in a lot of cases, up 3s are somewhat mitigated, so you don't have to deal with that too much. Because he can play in a range that not many other characters can. And if they try and jump out of the corner, if you have good enough reactions, you can just, you know, either anti-air with a stand 1 or down 2. Assuming their jump-ins isn't broken. But his main issue is when he gets his pressure going, you know, you have the strike throw game, obviously, but one of his main forms of pressure is his command grab. And if you have a bar, it's no issue, you know, he does like a lot of damage and you throw them back in the corner, all well and fine. But what happens when you run out of bar? That means if you, let's say, whiff punish a poke, or if they do an up 3 and you jump and you get a jump in, you do the Kahn cut, and how are you going to finish your combo? Normally you would finish in command grab, but if you finish in command grab, you're going to throw them out of the corner. And that's where this variation comes in to play. And I think this one will actually be better because it solves another issue with Kotal Kahn. So obviously we want the command grab, and we want Kahn cut. But I think the best third variation, or the best third slot he could have, is not the damage totem. It is the Tekwani Maul. And the reason is because, one, it gives him it's a very high damage ender. It does, I think, around like 12-15%. And it gives him a pretty good amount of Oki as well. It doesn't switch sides, so he can end his combos in the corner in an ender that won't displace them in any way. This thing goes about jump distance, like its travel is about a jump distance. It almost takes up one full screen worth of traveling time. And what I mean by this is basically, so from the point it hits a person to the tackle and then bites them on the neck, the amount of distance covered is almost like half to a full screen. So its corner carry is also fucking absurd. And in addition to all of this, if he meter burns it, not only is it safe on block, because Kotal Kahn does not have any safe on block moves in any of his in his first variation, aside from like the only thing he can really do is maybe do like 4-2-4 into the parry, and then just let it cancel as soon as possible. He can make himself safe with that. But most of the time he doesn't have a special move to really switch things up besides the Kahn cut, which is very, very unsafe on block, and it's a pretty big risk that he doesn't necessarily need to take. So this gives him just so much more offense because he can special cancel into a safe move. And I don't know if I already said this, but when you enhance it, it's immune to projectiles. So that's one of Kotal Kahn's biggest weaknesses, is that his projectile is little dog shit. In his totemic variation, or not totemic, which one is it? Bullock, he can deal with it a bit because he gets the damage buff and the damage reduction buff, so he can kind of mess with zoning a bit. But his zoning in and of itself is trash. But this variation completely sidesteps that in a very, very, very nice way. So we're gonna run to practice real quick, and hopefully I can show off a bit before this video gets too long just on Kotal Kahn. Sorry for gushing so much over him because I just really, really enjoy him. So, I don't know, we'll just pick Cetrion, she's a good zoner. So yeah, so this variation is pretty much just the most all-rounding thing. It has combos, it has damage, it has pressure, it has safe mid special move, it has some of the craziest corner carry in the entire game. It has projectile immune shit. It's like little like and you get a free dash, pretty much a free dash, and that leaves him at a perfect distance to run in with his forward 4. So if he did a normal combo, let's say he does, unless I'm fucking dog shit at this game. Look, that's literally one combo from mid screen and you're already in the corner. Oops. So that's one thing that's already really nice. Let's see, how much damage is that? Wow. Yeah, and it does almost the same amount of damage. And you can dash in, you do a wave dash, or you can run in forward 3 stagger, forward 4 if you think they're going to be mashing, or you can just do your unblockable. So this is pretty much just all of his weaknesses, rounds them out. And also, look, he has that, and if they're low health, like for example, if we put Cetrion at, let's say she has like 7% health left. Yeah, it's like, good luck getting around that. And yeah, obviously she's standing still now, but she has to actively be jumping around. And while she's jumping around, she can't really be zoning or doing anything. So then you can basically just use your absurd fucking range, and maybe throw a projectile or 2 out there to just, and his good range jump-ins, to just really harass the opponent and just make it almost impossible for them to win. So I literally don't think that there's anything wrong with this there's literally nothing wrong with this fucking variation that I can think of. It has everything you really want. And if, like for example, if we do where is it? AI options, so if we do block mode to all. So normally if you did forward 4, most people would block that. There's a couple options to go into. You can do this. If they aren't expecting the low, you can get them with the low, but most of the time they'll be blocking low, and then that's unsafe. That's punishable on block. You could do this, but most opponents, if they have good reactions and if they're looking out for it, they'll down 1 you out of it or do something else or stand jab you. So that's not true, and that's really just a gimmick. So then you could do this. Oops. What the hell is this projectile? Isn't it back forward A? Yeah, it is. Yeah, you can do that, which, sorry, let me pull up the frame data. Which is -7, but, I think we might be able to poke out of that. Let me see. I can see me. Yeah, you can just poke out of it. And if you just let go of block, there you go. So, you can do that, and it's barely safe. It's -7, so if they get a frame perfect punish, most characters will be able to down 1 you. even if they block it. I think the only one that can is Shao Kahn, because his down one is like 8 frames for some fucking reason. Because he's a fucking garbage character. But, you know, what else is new? But he can do... Let's see, what is the fucking parry? He can do that to try and, like, gimp a turn back. That makes him not as unsafe as doing just this. So, that's really... Sorry, I got a thing in my mouth. That's really the only way he can do it. Definitely not that. He can... That's the only way he can really stay safe, is by canceling to the parry and then trying to mix you up off of that, and if you're not expecting it. Aside from just finishing the string. Yeah, there's literally just nothing, because the command grab doesn't tick throw off of that. And obviously, you can mix it up with that. If they're expecting you to just stagger the string, you can do that. But the only problem is, as you see, that's minus 13. But, you can literally just do this. Look at that. Wait, it's minus 7. What the hell? Oh, it's supposed to be minus 5. Okay, well, that's punishable on block. That's interesting, because I was under the impression... Weird. Anyways, though, getting back to it, at the very least, it's minus 7, and that's true. Most characters probably won't punish that, because they're like, you'd have to have a frame perfect reaction to punish that on block. Like, minus 7 is very, 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 very difficult to punish on block. As a matter of fact, let me try just to make sure I can back up my own word. I didn't do any practice with this shit beforehand, which probably is not a good idea, so I don't look like an idiot. But, oh, what the fuck? Oh wait, I didn't block after that, dumbass. Yeah. So... Okay, well, let's stand back. Look at that chip damage, by the way. That does almost 5% chip right there. See, that's... Nah, that's just 4%, sorry. Although that's very strange. This variation isn't gonna... That's so weird, what the hell? Maybe this is just a... This might be an issue with the hitboxes that they're talking about. So maybe when the thing gets updated, this will get fixed to where it actually properly hits twice. But even then... Let me look at my move list real quick. That was the boulder. What the fuck? Let me try and punish this. Yeah, I know. So even then, it's pretty much safe on block, whether you jump over the fucking person or not. So yeah, it's just, and it's mid, so you can't doubt one out of it. Try. Yeah, if I didn't, it's so fucking weird. Does Cetrion have a low hitbox when she's crouching? That's so weird. That is so weird. Yeah, I can't do anything. So, yeah, that again, it pretty much just rounds out all of his weaknesses. And, we do record. The fuck is her boulder? What? Why? Oh, bouncing boulder. Okay, that's what. Hold up. God. Yeah, sorry, I've never played Cetrion before. So, okay, this is harder than I thought. There you go. No more zoning. And then he's already in. And he's already in the corner. And then you can do your stupid ass fucking mix up pressure. So on and so forth. So if you find yourself in the corner, also, and that's another thing, just kind of reiterating on the advantages of this variation. If you find yourself in the corner with no meter, let's see, what can I do to waste my, or whatever, it doesn't matter. So let's say they do like an up 3 or something, and why are you on block? Oops. So let's say you're in the corner and they don't block low. So normally that's what you would have to end it at if you had no bar. Or I don't know, maybe you could set up the unblockable. But yeah, but normally, why did it not come out? So normally that would be your combo in the corner or something close to it anyways. So that's 322. But if you don't have any bar, there we go. Jesus Christ. Okay. So you actually, oh no, wait. Okay, so that's easier. So that's 303. So you're only losing 30% or 30%. You're only using like 30 damage, which is like 3% health. Yeah, that does 303. And that does 33, I bet. Yep. A little less than that, actually. So only losing really like 24 damage. Which, you know, like, that's really not, obviously not that big of a deal. Obviously you don't have the damage buff associated with it that you get from the command grab. But this variation basically gives you a new option to end your combos in. And let's say if they fucking get caught doing this shit, if they do something unpunishable. Oops. Look at that. So off of that one combo, we are pretty much almost, we're back to mid-screen. So he basically travels half screen per combo, the 20 maul. In addition to it being immune to projectiles and safe on block. So again, this pretty much just rounds out his weaknesses. It gives him the regular Solar Blessing, which is just the far better version. If someone's low on health, you can literally just make it almost impossible for them to win or do anything. So it's great at closing out rounds. If they try and zone you, you can just meter burn it, and that's a free get-in, and it's safe. So it's not like they can easily get rid of you. If he wants to go in and they block, he has a safe combo ender. If he meter burns it, of course, but you know, Kotal doesn't use meter for a whole lot anyways. And if he doesn't have any meter and he gets a combo in the corner, rather than ending with like a, I don't know, 1-2-2 for, oops, 1-2-2 for a hard knockdown, or if he does like that. You know, that's only 263. But this variation allows him to get 30% in the corner without spending a bar, if he doesn't have any more bars to round out his pressure, so, or to round out his with his command grab. So basically, literally all the problems that the first variation Ascension has, this variation counteracts it. I think this variation will probably be, I mean, unless something else happens and unless it gets nerfed or changed or a certain move gets banned or you can't pair one of these moves with one of these, I think this variation of Kotal Kahn will probably be the best there is. I literally just cannot see any other move that he would want that would make him a better character. It literally just anything that he has problems with in his first variation. It is just, yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. So we're just gonna do real quick, just to the obvious choice that most people will do is damage, 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 and more damage. Dear fucking god. Okay, yeah, no, that's fucking ridiculous. Whew. Yeah, all I can say, I think my variation is more competitively sound, but this is definitely the funner of the two. I mean, you get hit by this shit, and you're not making a fucking recovery. Let's try going for max damage. I cannot be a fucking toad. Come on, man! Oh my, almost 60%. Dear God. Lord forbid. Shit. Oh. Oh my god, I can't. Alright. Come on, man. This might take me a few tries. So somehow it does less damage with the crushing blow. So it's, this variation does so much fucking damage that you're discouraged from crushing blows. That is so weird. He does more damage without crushing. That's so weird. You'd think. Very weird. Alright, well, that'll be it for Kotal Kahn.